This past Sunday, August 16th, 2026, Hollywood lost a wonderful actress and a beautiful woman. 36-year-old Hayden Panettiere passed away in South Carolina. She had been acting since she was 11 months old. She starred in several movies as well as television series. Sadly, Hayden struggled. She struggled with depression, alcoholism, addiction, postpartum depression, being in a very toxic relationship with her ex-boyfriend, signing over custody to her ex-fiance, and she tremendously struggled with the loss of her brother, her only sibling, back in 2023. Hayden had several struggles that she dealt with every day. And today we are going to discuss Hayden's life and her tragic passing. Why? What happened to this beautiful 36-year-old actress? Let's discuss the details right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne-Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrico, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this Wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. How are y'all doing on this Wicked Wednesday evening? Thank y'all once again for joining me tonight. I hope y'all are all having a great night and a great week so far, and y'all are ready for the weekend. Sadly, y'all, this past Sunday in South Carolina, we lost a wonderful actress, a sweet girl. 36-year-old Hayden Panettiere passed away. I have no words. I was shocked. I remember opening my phone. I'm like, what? Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. Like, that was just a huge shock to me. Hayden Leslie Panettiere was born August 21st, 1989 in New York to her parents, Leslie Vogel, a former soap opera actress, and her father, Alan Panettiere, a captain at the New York Fire Department. Hayden had one brother, Jansen, who sadly passed away back in 2023 due to heart complications. Now, Hayden has been very open about her struggles with losing her baby brother. This was her only sibling, and she adored him, and sadly, he passed away. This was very hard on Hayden. Hayden has been gracing our TV screens for over 30 years, almost 40 years. Hayden got her first role at 11 months old when she was in a Play School commercial. She was so cute in this commercial. Her little face, oh, she was just the cutest little baby. And then the roles kept coming. She was in a soap opera. She was in Remember the Titans, The Object of My Affection. She also starred in a series called Heroes. She was a cheerleader back in 2006. That was her huge breakout role. She was in the movie Bring It On, All or Nothing. She was in the Scream movies. And she was also featured in NBC's series Nashville, which played for several years. Hayden was just a great actress. And a lot of times, as we all know, child actresses and actors sometimes fade away. We don't hear from them after they act as a child. Not Hayden. Not Hayden. She always made an appearance. She has always been around. She is a great, great actress. And sadly, we lost her this past Sunday. Hollywood will never be the same without Hayden. She was a bright light. She was always happy. I would watch her interviews on TMZ, and she was always so sweet and nice to the paparazzi. She was just a wonderful woman. However, she did have some struggles. In 2006, Hayden became the Neutrogena girl. I'm sure y'all all remember Hayden gracing our TV screens as the Neutrogena girl. She did all the Neutrogena face creams, face wash commercials. Hayden was also a huge supporter of the Ronald McDonald House, helping out several children. In 2009, Hayden met world boxing champion Vladimir Kickshaw at a book launch. They fell in love very fast. Hayden says she looked up at him and said, "You're very big." And he looked down at her and said, "You're very tiny." Remember, Hayden wasn't 5 feet. I think she was 4'11", and he was over 6 feet. And they adored each other. Like, if you saw them together, it looks like they wouldn't go together, but they were perfect for each other. Sadly, they split in 2011. However, they got back together in 2013, and in October of 2013, Hayden announced their engagement. In December of 2014, Hayden gave birth to their beautiful daughter that she named Kaya. Hayden said it was a wonderful pregnancy. She loved her pregnancy. However, Hayden suffered with postpartum depression. She said it was so very scary, it was horrible, and it needs to be talked about. Now, I'm going to tell y'all this. I never went through postpartum depression, so I can't tell you how that feels. But what I can tell you is that I did go through depression, and that is tough. And they say postpartum depression is worse than that. So I can't imagine what postpartum depression would feel like. Like she said, she had this perfect daughter, this great fiance, and just wasn't happy. She could not get happy, and that must be a horrible feeling. And she was struggling with it. She was absolutely struggling. And if postpartum is worse than depression, then that's a terrible thing to think about. I have been through depression, and a lot of my friends have been through postpartum depression, and they say it's nothing to play about. You are severely depressed when you're going through postpartum depression. In August of 2018, Hayden and her fiance broke up, and she gave full custody of their daughter to him. She said she was struggling so bad with postpartum depression and addiction that she knew she wasn't in the right frame of mind to raise her beautiful daughter. She said she has a very healthy and loving relationship with her ex-fiance, and that she visits her daughter Kaya very frequently. Now, a lot of people I know are going to frown upon a woman signing over custody of her child. I get it. I used to be one of those people. Like, how can you not want your child? How can you not want to see your child every day, talk to your child, hold your child? However, I don't know how it is. And if I was struggling severely and I knew I wasn't in the place to take care of my child, I would do the same thing. Why make the child suffer because you're afraid of losing your child? You can't do that. You have to do what's best for the child. You can't do what's best for yourself at the time. And Hayden knew. She openly said it was a nightmare with this decision. It was very heartbreaking, but she knew she couldn't take care of her daughter. And I praise her for that. A lot of people would try to do it, and then they would damage their child while they're trying to get well, fighting with postpartum, fighting with addiction, fighting with alcoholism. And Hayden didn't want to put her daughter through that, so she decided the best thing was to sign over full custody to her daughter's father. And I do really think that was one of Hayden's best decisions. In 2018, Hayden met Brian Hickerson from South Carolina. They started off very well. Hayden loved him, he loved her. However, back in 2020, not long after they started dating, he was arrested twice on domestic violence charges. In 2021, he was sentenced to 45 days in jail. Hayden says that he was physically abusive. She said he would get drunk. He would lose his mind. He would hurt her. He would chase her. She says she would try to calm him down. She would try to stand her ground, try to defuse the situation, and it never worked. She loved him. She wanted to be with him. However, it was a very toxic relationship. She says the next day he would see what he did to Hayden. He would feel bad for his actions. He would apologize. I can't believe I did that. And she was like, I know. So she wanted those good times. She loved those good times. However, there was too many bad times. There was way too many bad times with Hayden and Brian. And I'm going to pause it. I'm going to tell you, I've told y'all several times in the past, I was in a extremely toxic, abusive behavior with someone. Bad. Very bad. And this kind of sounds like the same thing. However, in my situation, he would make up things, make up stories, believe the stories, blame me for these stories. Then he would physically harm me. And the next day it was like, oh my God, I bruised you all up. Look what I did. I can't believe I did this. What was I thinking? I have been through that. And let me tell you something. It is so heartbreaking because they actually feel bad the next day. They're shocked. They can't believe they did something like this. They're heartbroken. They're like, oh my God, I just hurt someone that I love. However, it happens again and again and again, and it doesn't stop. And Hayden said it was a domino effect. It just kept going on, kept going on, kept going on. He was very physically abusive towards Hayden. Hayden and Brian's relationship was like a tornado. It was very turbulent. She finally ended their relationship. It was also said that she put a restraining order against Brian Hickerson. In May of 2026, Hayden Panettiere's book came out, This Is Me, A Reckoning, which I've read. It is a very good book, however, it is very sad. Hayden went through a lot as a child actress. She was a people pleaser. She loved to make everyone happy. And she also discussed having relationships with women. I'm glad that Hayden let us into her personal life. She has graced our TV screens for years and wanted us to be a part of her personal life. And I admire her for that. Hayden says several things happened when she was a child actress. One event, she was 18 years old and she was on a yacht with a woman that she knew very well. During this yacht party, she says that this woman brought her down the stairs. It was like a surprise, like somebody was waiting for her, or a present, something exciting. And it was a very well-known man, naked in a bed with his arms behind his head, relaxing. And she tells Hayden to get in, which Hayden did. She said she didn't know what to do at this point. She was only a child. She was 18. And when she was 19 years old, she was at an Oscar party, and a very famous award-winning man, I guess he won an Oscar, exposed himself to her. She was only 19 years old, and she said all of this was happening to her. She also said that she loved her mom. She really did love her mom, but at the time of her death, she did not have a relationship with her mom. She struggled with her mom. However, she said she left that crack in the door open. She wanted a relationship with her mom one day, but just now wasn't the right time. Her mom was her business manager for years. However, she wanted a normal mother-daughter relationship with her mother. And maybe her mom didn't want that. I don't know. She doesn't really go into that much details about it. But their relationship was very strange. She said that she wanted to make her mom happy. She didn't care about the directors or the producers. The only person she always wanted to make happy was her mother. And a lot of us know how that is. Someone can tell us that we're great, that we're fantastic, but all we want to do is please our parents. And Hayden says that she would audition for these roles, and these directors and producers would come up to her and say, Hayden, you were great, you were wonderful, the best ever. We have to have you in our movie. And she would turn to her mother, and she made the comment. She said, I know if I messed up on audition, it was going to be a bad day. I was going to disappoint my mother, and she never wanted to disappoint her mother. She loved her parents dearly. Another person that Hayden truly loved was her baby brother. And she made the comment that sometimes she felt like she couldn't live without her brother, that life couldn't go on without her brother. She loved him so very much. She would wear his jacket. She would think about him all the time. This was her only sibling, her baby brother, and that was one of her biggest struggles. She also made the comment that a doctor told her that her liver was failing, and that if she didn't stop the drinking, that she may not be here in 5 years. She knew she had to quit drinking. And that must be very hard on a person. She's already struggling with a lot. She's struggling with postpartum. She's struggling with depression. She's struggling with losing her brother. And now she's probably trying to cope with alcohol. And the doctors are telling her, you need to stop. So she has to find her own way. She has to find what helps her. Is it therapy? Is her mental health not good at this time? She's trying to get herself right. However, the struggles are taking over her. In May of 2026, when Hayden's book came out, an interviewer interviewed Hayden's ex-boyfriend, Brian, as he is mentioned in this book. She does discuss the physical abuse in her book, and this interviewer wanted to interview Brian and see what he had to say. And y'all, I don't know what was going on, no. I don't know if this man was maybe tired, if he was jet lagged, if he had a long day, if he was on something, I don't know. But he was rambling. It sounds like he was slurring his words. He was looking around. He was turning sideways. It wasn't professional at all. And he was saying how wonderful Hayden was, that she was his Sunday girl. It doesn't matter who you have Saturday night, it's who you have on Sunday. That he just goes on and on about how amazing she is. It was a very awkward interview. However, what we all didn't know, however, we do know it now, Hayden was back with Brian at this time. She was, in fact, back with him. And her managers, her people told her, look, you are promoting this book. You cannot tell anyone that you are back with Brian because you discuss domestic violence and physical abuse in your book, and now you're back with Brian. So maybe people thought it wasn't a good look for her to be back with him, and it wasn't. This man sounds very toxic, and when I watched him in that interview in May of 2026, something wasn't right. Something wasn't right, y'all. I'm telling y'all need to go watch that interview. I'm going to find it and I'm going to put it in the comments below because y'all need to see. It just didn't sound right. But Hayden was in fact back with her ex, Brian. Now, a lot of y'all are going to be confused. Why on earth would Hayden go back to this toxic man? Why? Probably because it was familiar. She latched on to that. It was someone who knew her very well. It was someone who was around, and he probably just wormed his way back into her life. You know what I mean? We have all been in those situations where you wake up and you're like, why did I get back with this person? Why am I with this person? And let me tell y'all something. And y'all can mark my word on this one. I would rather get drunk every night and go honky tonkin' before I would ever get back with my ex, ever. And y'all know me, I don't like to drink, no, and I don't like to leave the house. So I would rather leave the house and drink than get back with my ex. However, some people go back to a person they're familiar with. They know that person well. That person knows them well and knows the things that they do, the things that they want. So they feel comfortable. They feel loved. And, with my man right now, I feel so loved, so taken care of. I just hold him and I squeeze him and I smell him and he's just wonderful. And everyone deserves a relationship like that. Everyone deserves to be happy. And maybe Brian changed. I don't know their status in their relationship. I don't know what was going on. However, we do know that on August 15th, 2026, Hayden did board a plane with Brian, left LA and went to South Carolina. The last time I saw Hayden Panettiere on social media, she had crutches. She had a jumpsuit on, a tracksuit, and she was walking with crutches, complaining about back pain. A paparazzi asked her, he said, Hayden, are you okay? She's like, oh yeah, I just have a couple of pinched nerves in my back. I'm just having trouble with my back. So no telling what Hayden was going through at this time. Did something happen to her? Did she fall? How did she get this pinched nerve? Was it really a pinched nerve? What was happening with Hayden Panettiere? However, I strongly believe that she just had a back injury and she was just trying to get in the car at the time when the paparazzi asked her. So I don't know what was going on at this time. This past Sunday, August 16th, 2026, in Greenville, South Carolina, 911 receives a call around 1:51 p.m. with someone saying that a female is in cardiac arrest and apparent overdose. EMTs arrive, ambulance arrive, police arrive, and they start giving Hayden Panettiere life-saving measures. They try to revive her for several minutes, however, they cannot. Sadly, at 2:32 p.m. on Sunday, 36-year-old Hayden Panettiere is pronounced deceased. Police say there are no signs of foul play or trauma. The autopsy showed no foul play or trauma. So now we have to basically wait for the toxicology reports and the medical studies to find out exactly how Hayden passed away. What is her official cause of death? We have to wait and see. Now, I did hear 2 ambulances came and 2 stretchers were brought in. Why? Was there somebody else in there that was unresponsive? Was there someone in there that was hurt? We don't know. It was said nobody came out in stretchers. Is that true? We have no clue. We do know that a coroner's van pulled up to, unfortunately, get Hayden Panettiere's body. This was very sad. And her parents are extremely sad about the situation. They just lost their son back in 2023. And now, sadly, they lost their daughter. Hayden's daughter, I'm sure, is very upset about the situation. Her ex-fiance, the father of her little girl, made a statement saying that they are very sad at this time. They are mourning the loss of Hayden. He loved Hayden. Hayden's daughter loved her. Hayden, she was joking at an interview with, I forgot who was interviewing her, but anyway, Hayden was doing an interview, and she was telling the interviewer how her daughter FaceTimes her, how she's like the cool mom now. Her and her daughter are always on the phone together. She has the best relationship with her daughter and her daughter's father. It's just great. And I hope Hayden's daughter knows how much Hayden truly loved her, and she protected her by giving custody to her dad. She really did. She loved her daughter and protected her. My thoughts and prayers go out to Hayden's family, especially her daughter. I hope y'all all remember the good memories y'all had with Hayden, and we will all remember Hayden and all of her TV shows, her movies, and what a great, true Hollywood actress she was. My final thought, I always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, I want us all to remember the good times Hayden Panettiere showed us on the big screen. She was a great actress. She was a bright light. Everyone loved her. She was always smiling. She was always happy. However, she did struggle, just like us. Actors and actresses are real people. They really are. And I think Hollywood did a lot to Hayden. She was young. She saw a lot. She went through a lot. She was a people pleaser. She didn't want to make anyone upset. She wanted to make everyone happy. And she saw things at a young age that she didn't need to see. So she struggled with those situations. She said sometimes that she didn't even know who she was. I believe she said that by the age of 12, she really didn't know who she was because she had acted so much. She was so many different people at this time. It was also said Narcan was found in the apartment where Hayden was staying. So we have to figure out if that's true, if that's real. Was Hayden still struggling at this point with addiction? What was going on in her life? Why was she back with Brian? What were they doing? Did something happen between them? Who knows? I just want us all to remember how great of an actress Hayden Panettiere truly was. And this Friday would have been her 37th birthday. So happy birthday, Hayden. We will all be thinking about you this Friday. You are in our thoughts and prayers every day. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of you. Thank y'all once again for joining me. I appreciate all the love and support. And for you, I am truly grateful. I will see y'all all next week with more Cajun Crime Queen videos. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with true crime, don't forget to follow me, Anne Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen. I love all of you. Bye.